The streak is over.
I feel like we can run the table. I really do.
Giants looking for a stop. They're going to air it out. Rodgers does this better than anybody. End zone, Cobb, touchdown! Unbelievable! This to send the Packers into the NFC Championship game. It is good! The Packers are moving on! Aaron Rodgers has done it again!
Grossi Posse Packer Nation, welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan. But it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi, and we got nothing but bad news for you. After the Atlanta Falcons defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which we kind of all knew that they would, the Packers have officially been eliminated from this year's playoffs. Aaron Rodgers was sore on Monday and has been placed on IR today to make room so they can get Joe Callahan back on the active roster. So now we're going back to Brett Hundley. Unfortunately, this Saturday's game really doesn't mean anything anymore with the Vikings. Something that I was very much looking forward to and getting some payback, for Rodgers to get some payback. But this is more of an opportunity for Hundley to continue to grow, have game time experience, and see who some of our stars really are. That's really the good news portion of this. We've had a playoff streak for the past 7 seasons, and from 2010 to 2017, the past 7 years, we've been in the playoffs every single time. We just missed 2009, and this one hurts. I think we had the longest active playoff streak along with the Patriots, and now we no longer have that at all. Thomas Davis got suspended for 2 games. He's going to appeal for the Davante Adams hit, and rightfully so. And something needs to be done about this headhunting garbage. Davante Adams took to Twitter and basically ripped him a new one and says, this is headhunting. This is potentially ending somebody's career. This is the second time that this has happened this season to him. And the NFL, if you are so uptight about safety rules, this is something that needs to be addressed, and there needs to be harsher penalties, and I don't think a 2-game suspension will do it, but I'm very curious to see what you think on that. You had players reach out and support, and then Mike McCarthy said it was a dirty hit, Rodgers said it was a dirty hit, and Thomas Davis had a history. There was also other players who said suck it up, and it's the game. Injuries are all part of the game. Look at Aaron Rodgers, look at half of our offensive line, look at Ty Montgomery, part of the game. But yes, I agree, it's a tough game for tough people, and just because injuries happen doesn't mean that you need that unnecessary garbage where you're actually actively trying to hurt somebody. That's my take on that. So now what do? Well, we're going to continue on with our season here at Packcast. This Thursday, we will be releasing the interview with a Vikings fan. I'm doing that in about an hour. That's going to hurt. Going to have to swallow my pride for that one. The good news of what we can get out of this is hopefully Dom Capers finally gets fired. I was on the fence for the past few years. As you know from this channel, if you've been watching me all season, I definitely said, I backed it up. There's an analysis video on my channel about why he needs to be fired. We are one of the worst defenses. That was evident after Sunday. Cam Newton on the goal line checked our defense and said, oh, you've been studying tape? Laughed and said, watch this, and then threw a touchdown to Christian McCaffrey. That's a joke. Like, that's laughably bad in the NFL. The fact that a quarterback could read your defense, know what they're going to call, know how bad they are, and just score a touchdown with ease. So the defense needs to change. We also need some defensive stars, which, again, here we go again. We're going to be drafting defense, I'm thinking, all the way here with this new draft. Probably get some O-line depth as well. Hopefully we get a little bit better of a draft pick. I have never been a one to say, let's tank the season. It's going to be a tough few games against the Lions and the Vikings. If we lose, I'll be upset. If we win, we get a less draft pick. I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. I usually don't like this whole idea of like tanking or sucking for a better draft pick. What are your thoughts on that? I kind of like, let's see what Hundley can do. Let's see if the guy can play. But the bigger question here, and what I'm asking to all of you, is who in God's name do we root for now? Is it just anybody but the Vikings? Because the Vikings, they're fighting for home field advantage here. And we talked all last year, we talked this year about how amazing it would be if the Packers won a Super Bowl in their stadium. Didn't really stop to think what happens if they win a Super Bowl in their stadium. The only team to do so ever. Yikes. So I'm curious of who you're going to root for. I'm gonna take a look on who are the playoff eligible teams, and I'll get back to you on that. But I'm curious on what you think. I'm curious on thinking what should we do when it comes to the draft picks. Would you be okay if we lost? Would you be okay if we won? What do you think about Capers? More importantly, I want to know who you are rooting for. Jaguars, maybe? Why not? But that's that. You could always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com, TomGrossi Comedy, or Tom Grossi Comedy on Twitter. Check out Packcast, which is this podcast, Packast. We do episodes twice a week with interviews with the fans from opposing teams released every Thursday. We also do our predictions episodes as well. So check that out. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and of course here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And even though we're not in the playoffs, as always, go Pack Go.